Welcome back! In the last video we learned about how Java works behind the scenes. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of writing Java code. My name is Oleg, it's Dev Nights, let's get started. We will start by dissecting the Hello World program that we created and ran in our setup video. Understanding the syntax and structure of a Java program is crucial for building more complex applications. So let's break down each part of this simple program and understand its purpose. Let's look at the basic structure of our Hello World program. The first line, public class main, declares a class named main. In Java, everything happens inside a class. We'll delve deeper into classes later in this course, but for now, think of a class as a container for our code. Class names in Java typically starts with a capital letter, which is a convention we should follow. The curly braces after the class name define the body of the class. All the code that belongs to this class will be enclosed within these braces. Notice how the next line after the opening curly brace is shifted to the right by 4 spaces. This is another convention which in most cases IDE will make for us. If we want to add another line and another line inside this code block, the IDE will add 4 spaces before them. The reason why this is necessary is to visually separate code that belongs to different blocks. Now it might not seem so obvious, but when your code gets larger, this visual separation makes reading much easier. Inside our main class we have this line, public static void main string args. This is a method called main. A method is a block of code that performs a specific task. Think of it as a mini program within our larger program. The main method is special because it's the entry point of our Java program. When you run your program, the JVM looks for this main method and starts executing the code within it. Main is the specific name that JVM looks for. Just like the class, the curly braces after the main method define the body of the method. The code that will be executed when the program runs goes inside these braces. Every single line inside the method should be 4 more spaces shifted to the right, which again in most cases will be made for us by IDE. Inside the main method we have this line, System.out.println hello world. This is how we print output to the console, the black window where we saw hello world printed. Println is actually another method. It's short for the print line, but the difference between this one and our main method is that we just declare the main method without using it. It will be used and executed by the JVM at the startup of our app. Println is an already declared method, written by developers of the language. We don't need to declare it, so we are just saying that we want to use it. This method takes whatever is inside the parentheses and prints it to the console, followed by a new line. The parentheses after print line are where we put the arguments or the data we want to print. The text hello world enclosed in double quotes is a string literal. A string is a sequence of characters. In Java, strings are always enclosed in double quotes. Finally, notice the semicolon at the end of the line. In Java, semicolons are used to terminate statements. A statement is a complete instruction that the computer can execute. A method call, in this case, is a statement, so we need to add a semicolon at the end. We will figure out other statements in the next videos, so you will know for sure where to place semicolon and where to not. Anyway, if you forget to put the semicolon, the IDE will show you an error with a reminder. If you ignore it and run a program, you will get an error during the compilation, which will prevent running your program until you fix it. We can print multiple lines by using System.out.println multiple times. Each print line statement will print its content on a new line. Let's add a couple more lines of the same command and see what's printed in the console when we run a program. See, every message is printed on a separate line, because println command automatically added a new line after each string. There's also another similar method called System.out.print. The difference is that print does not add a new line after printing, so subsequent output will appear on the same line. Let's change our current code so every line calls the print method. Now you can see that no new lines were added at all, so every message is printed right after the previous one, without spaces or anything else. So if you need to use print method, don't forget about string separation. For example, you can manually add spaces at the end of each message. And of course, when we run it again, the resulting message now has those spaces. Before we wrap up, let's briefly talk about comments in Java. Comments are notes that you can add to your code to explain what it does. The compiler will ignore comments, so they won't affect how your program runs. You can add a single line comment by using double slashes. Any text after double slashes on the same line will be treated as comment. For example, here we can add something like execution starts here at the end of main method declaration. As I said earlier, compiler will ignore this comment at all, but don't put your single line comments at the start of the line if it contains some code, because this code will be treated as a comment as well, which in this case will completely break the program and prevent it from compilation and running. So if you want to use single line comments, I recommend adding them on their own line before the code you want to comment. For longer comments that span multiple lines, you can either add double slashes on every comment line, or you can use /start to start the comment and // to end it. Comments are very important for making your code easier to understand, both for yourself and for other programmers who might read your code. We've learned about the basic structure of a Java program, including classes, the main method, and how to print output using System.out.println. In the next video, we will start exploring variables and data types, which are fundamental for storing and manipulating information in our programs. Remember, you don't learn programming when you are not coding, so make sure you practice writing some basic output statements and experimenting with comments. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Java tutorials. See you in the next one, and happy coding!